Okay, today is Sunday, May the 6th, and I'm just thought I'd do an update here. It's been a while since I did a video, and I've done quite a bit of work on the car since the last time I visited with you. And it's getting ready to go to the body shop here in about 10 days, so I thought I'd show you what I've been up to since the last time. We can start right here, as a matter of fact. If you remember in the first video, this quarter panel here had a little crack in it, and this is the end result. All this, where the car apparently was hit at one time, filled in with putty. My body man, I'm getting ready to take it to my body man, and he told me to chip all this out of here and wire wheel it clean, so that's what I'm in the process of doing. That's all I got left to do. Then it's off to the body shop. So, pretty extensive, but nothing that can't be taken care of. He stopped by the other day and gave me instructions, so I've got to take care of business. But going around to the back of the car, you can see I got the hatch off of it now. In fact, the hatch is sitting right over there. And got all this wire wheeled clean, took all that old rubber out of there, and wire wheeled all that clean. So it's all ready for new rubber. This was the worst part of the whole hatch area back here, was where the hinges are for the hatch. I wound up having to take a chisel and a hammer and just breaking the pin that goes through there that holds the hatch on, because it was so rusty there was no way it was coming out of there. So just broke it. I'll have to get a new one for both sides. You can see all the pitting. But it's all clean now. Anywhere you see black, that's black self-etching primer. That's what my body man told me to use after I wire wheeled stuff clean to keep it from re-rusting. So anywhere you see black, chances are there was a little rust there. Right down here in this channel there was some rust. Nothing major or extensive, but rust nonetheless. He'll be fixing all that. And then down here where the spare tire sat, if you remember in previous videos, that was all rust. It's all wire wheeled clean now. Got some damage right in there, and he'll be fixing that and filling it with seam sealer, and it'll all be taken care of. So the interior is completely gutted now, and got the headlights and the bumper off of it. All wire wheeled clean. Did some wire wheeling under here, but I haven't taken the old rear end out yet, so I don't see any point in that until it gets back from the body shop, because I have to put this rear end in there when I'm done. That's a 4/8 inch. Showed it to you before. But just kind of making progress on it slowly but surely. This is my lucky working on my hot rod hat. I don't know, what do you think? You think it needs to be washed or anything, or is that just battle scars? Or I think it's battle scars myself. My girlfriend thinks it's gross. But you know, as far as damage from the rust is concerned, really, I mean, there's quite a bit of it, but nothing that can't be repaired. As I say, wherever you see black, there was a little bit of rust, or that needed to be repaired. That's what he told me to do, was wire wheel it off, and he'd take it from there. When I get the car back, it'll be in complete primer. So, be in gray primer. Now the hole in the floor where the license plate was, if you remember from previous videos, wasn't that big, but after I cut out all the bad rust and everything, that's what it looks like. But it's all cut out of there now and clean, and it's got primer on it, so he'll take it from here and fix it. At least I don't have to replace the entire floorboard. Just patch that up and it'll be okay. Remember, this isn't a show car, it's just a rat rod, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. And he's going to put a plate on the shifter, so I can put a cable type shifter on there, like a Hurst quick shift or quarter stick, something like that. But the rest of the floor is in really good shape. I mean, there isn't anything here at all that needs to be addressed. There's one little spot on the driver's side that I'll show you in a minute. But going to the front of the car, you can see all this has been wire wheeled clean, primered up. One little spot right there that he's going to take care of. And then the cowl is all done, cleaned and wire wheeled. Looks a lot better than what it did. A whole lot better. You know. All that's been cleaned, repainted. Now the front end pieces, I haven't taken the front end apart yet because I thought I'd wait until I got it back from the body shop. I didn't see any point in doing that yet. But now the front end and inside the engine compartment, now it is kind of tore up from the rust. You can see this piece here where the front end attaches to it. You can actually see there's some separation right there. But he's going to fix all that for me, and you can see how badly it was pitted from the rust. And but you know, it's really not too bad. If a guy was going to show this car, he'd have to cut all this stuff out, put a whole new piece on there. But my body man's going to repair it all for me. Like this piece here, he's going to weld some new steel in there for that support. You know, I mean, it's supposed to look like this. And when he's done, it for the most part will, only different. And then you got this area down here where the battery tray was. I removed it completely. And he's just going to put a piece of metal in there and weld it all up where it needs to be welded. Seal it all up with some seam sealer and it'll be fine. And I'm going to move the battery to the trunk so we won't have no more issues with it. But everything else, I mean, this area over here is the worst part of the car right here. This whole area right in here is the worst part of the car. And really, it's pretty salvageable, so it's not the end of the world. But everything else turned out pretty well. Now I'm going to be replacing all this. I'm going to leave the metal, but I'm going to put pop rivets in there so it just looks a little better, you know. And then the steering shaft is going to have to come out, the entire steering column, because I'm putting Sanderson headers in there. And that shaft right there will go through one of the tubes, between the tube and the engine. So that's got to come out, but that's alright. And as I say again, you know, the front end, I'll be replacing the entire front end, but I didn't see any point in doing it now until I got it back from the body shop. A little bit of damage right there, nothing he can't fix, just a little piece of metal. Fix it right up, but the rest of the core support and everything looks pretty good, I think. And it all came out fairly well, and once the fender's on there, you'll never see it anyway. And then this piece here, if you remember, it had a whole bunch of metal sticking out of it, and you could tell it had been hit and everything else. And what we decided to do is just leave that alone. And then that hole right there is where the vent goes for the inside of the car. And I'll show it to you from the inside, but we're just going to put a piece of metal over that, seal it all up real good, and then as it rains or whatever, the water will come right down here and run right out of it. And the fender will be over that, so you won't see it anyway. Otherwise, it was going to be some pretty extensive repair job on that. But here again, you can see right there, we're going to put a plate on that, seal it all up with some seam sealer, and good to go. Rock and roll. But you know, here again, you can see all the black places. There was rust. He's going to get all that taken care of and put it in primer for me. Some little bit of damage right here on the inside of that door. Nothing that can't be taken care of though. And you know, surprisingly, inside the fender wells, other than this one spot that you saw earlier from the inside, pretty good shape really, to be honest with you. Not too bad at all. So that's what I've been doing. Did want to show you a couple things outside the car. This tire right here, this was on the driver's side rear. One night after work, I was in here doing some work on the passenger side, and there was this huge explosion. The car was actually on jack stands, as it is right now, and that's the driver's side. sitting just like that, and a huge explosion, and this tire just completely ripped apart, sitting in the air with no weight on it. It was so dry rotted. You can see how big that hole is. Look at that. It's unbelievable. Just sitting there, not even moving, no weight on it, nothing. Total explosion. Ripped it all to shreds. So I'm glad I was working on the other side of the car when that happened. It would have been nuts. Had this old spare inside of it, so I'm going to put that as the original spare. I'm going to put that on there instead when it leaves here for the body shop. And then the other thing was, all these flags here. Somebody asked me a question on my last video about what these flags, I guess these showed up in the video, I don't know, I have to go back and look, but they asked me what all them flags were, and what that is I drive a truck for a living. It's got a rear window in it, big truck, 18-wheeler, and ever since I went to work for my company 22 years ago, whenever I got a new truck, I put a flag in it. I always fly the flag, man. I'm proud of my country. You know, always put a flag in the back window and show my colors. And whenever I got out of that truck and got into a new one, I'd retire the flag that was in that truck, put it in my new one. Now some of them flags up there have gone into two trucks. But no more than two. I wasn't allowed to go no more than two, and then I retired them. So that represents all the flags that I've had in my trucks, including the current one. I do have two that I have in a box somewhere that I can't find after I moved. There's two more that are supposed to be up there. But that's what the flags are. My girlfriend got me that for Christmas. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. And then of course, big orange, baby. UT Vols. Go get them. And St. Louis Cardinals, World Champions 2011. Read 'em and weep. I don't know where you're from, but that's what it's all about. And tonight, or this afternoon, the Blues and the Kings in Game 4, and they're probably going to get swept. The Blues are. That's all right. So anyway, that's the update. I just wanted to give everybody an update before the car left for... I am going to be mocking up the engine compartment over the next week before I send it off to the body shop. I've got this old block, old intake, old set of heads. That's the transmission that's going in the car. Same guy built that. It was on one of the 63, or Miss Jean. So, gonna put all that together and set it in the car and get everything bolted up once I get my headers, which I should have this week, and do my beating and banging and making sure everything fits properly, and then pull it all out of there and send it to the body shop. So that's where I'm at. Maybe I'll do a video after I get everything in there, see how it fits. But that's the update, folks. So have a good Sunday afternoon. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.